Over 170 agri-food sector stakeholders convened in Nairobi during the S&V Partners Day event organized by Agriprofocus, which brings together organizations working towards food security. The objective of the day was to network, promote partnerships and links between partners working within the Smart Water for Agriculture Programme and the Kenya Market-led Horticulture Programme, commonly known as HortImpact.
So on behalf of S&V Kenya in general and the project teams of Sustainable Water for Agriculture and HortImpact in particular, I wish you welcome on this first Partner Day. Partner Days are also an excellent possibility to look at synergy between projects and their business cases, to develop new ideas, to link and to learn, not only for you as partners, but also for us as a project and an implementing organization.
S&V agriculture programs currently could be about a portfolio of 10 projects. Many times if you look at them on the face value, they look like there are many activities and interventions all over the country, but there is a logic that is also guided by a bigger vision, also of our agriculture programs globally. We want to contribute systematically and in a systemic way to how agriculture sectors work in the countries where we are working. And therefore, we've chosen like 4 result areas. We are working towards contributing to food security. We want to contribute to sustainable markets within the agriculture sector. We also want to contribute to sustainable development. In that sense, we are looking at environmentally friendly production systems. And most important, last but not least, is inclusion, especially of women and youth within the agriculture sector.
The value chain actors ranged from exhibitors providing solutions across agricultural value chains that included farmers, aggregators, processors, input suppliers, financiers, development partners, government representatives, among others. The main theme of the event was on unlocking finance for scale-up through partnerships along value chains in the agriculture sector, specifically looking at blended finance. So what exactly is blended finance?
So essentially, it's taking a financial puzzle apart and putting it back together again, so you have investors with different expectations of risk, different expectations of return, and you can create a financing vehicle for the project or the entity where everybody goes into it knowing what the risks are, where the downside could be, what the upside could be. Typically, it's a combination of grant funding and commercial funding. There could also be some subsidized funding, but it's a financial puzzle with aligned interest to reach a common goal.
I think when we talk about blended finance and agriculture, and what I've gathered from this morning as well, is how people look at financing in agriculture with an angle of collateral. I think that is a shift that has to come. Agriculture is more about cash flow rather than land and security, and that's one thing that has to be understood from a lender's perspective, from a farmer's perspective. Farmers often come and tell us, we want to grow this, we want to grow that. As lenders, it's important to see the contracts, the market, the access to market. So that's the key when we're looking at financing arrangements in agriculture.
Other innovative financing models were explored. Avenues such as the power of collective assets through SACCOs, innovative financing models for entrepreneurial farmers, and products targeting specific groups were also key discussions in this event.
Partnership with S&V for Smart Water for Agriculture will help us get the systems for irrigated agriculture required from our suppliers and give this to the farmers through a well-structured value chain. For instance, we have now listed approved technology suppliers for irrigation systems, solar water pumps, and other structures needed for that. We are connecting these to the farmers. And before that can happen, we have to capacity build the farmers at 2 levels. Level 1 is where we train the board, who is the decision maker at the circle. They understand the idea, they go into an idea, they know what it is. And then level 2 will train their eligible farmers for this program. So in this way, we are alleviating poverty by making sure that irrigation or agriculture is done throughout the year, not relying on rainfall.
We're all agreeing that the smallholder farmer is underfinanced, and the Mastercard Learning Lab has figured out it's around $200 billion worth of underfinancing for smallholders. It's a huge market, and it requires a lot of attention, and it's really a bottleneck for many, many farmers. If you give a farmer a loan, a smallholder farmer, research shows 68% of those loans are diverted. So if you have 100 farmers, 68 farmers will use a part of the loan they've gotten for agriculture for something else. 30% of those farmers will use that loan entirely for something else. So whereas you give out agricultural loans, it will not reach the aim target. In our agri-wallet, we contract and link financially buyers to farmers to merchants.
AFC has been a credit-only institution, but we've realized we have to provide more than just credit. A farmer is a person who rationalizes things. You give him money to go and grow sugarcane, part of that money will go into school fees. So we look at the farmer wholesomely. We do a household budget, understand what this farmer needs. So we are looking at partnering with other value chain actors. That's why in the recent past we've come up with products that target cooperatives. We are saying AFC will give money for farming, but the cooperative will advance money for other things like school fees. So we have come up with three innovative products: cooperative access window and MFI, microfinance access window. We are saying these institutions understand the farmer better than us. So we give them money. We've even reduced our lending rates.
But farmers feel that financial institutions need to be flexible when lending to smallholder farmers by also understanding their farming cycles.
With the banks or financiers, they are very friendly when they are approaching you. Very friendly. They come running. And once you get the finance, they don't consider that whatever you are planting, because you have to prepare the land, you have to plant and you have to wait up to the time you start harvesting and selling. They don't wait. From the first month, next month they want you to pay back their money. So we farmers, we get frustrated a lot because you don't have income for about 3 to 4 months. You don't have anything. You are just working, and you are required to start paying back.
Our major problem is not even the collaterals. The banks want to know you better before they give you money. How do they want to know you better? Through your bank statements, or bank with us for 6 months. We see how, so that we can trust you. A small farmer will only have enough money to prepare land and plant. Wait for 6 months before they can sell. So what do they bank within the 6 months? Nothing. And then when they harvest, store the money, store the products before they sell. When they sell, it's already time for planting again. So they turn the money to their shambas.
From these discussions, it was evident that for blended finance to work, be it debt or equity, it needs to be well structured. Beyond financing, discussions on access to markets for smallholder farmers were also at the forefront of this event. Organizations supported by these projects realize the importance of continued capacity building for agriculture to make business sense. They exhibited and shared their experiences.
The fabulous things about the SNV relationship for Burton and Bamber is that SNV is trying to understand the whole value chain, not just one element of the value chain. And for us, we break up our business into 3 elements: farmer engagement, manufacturing and value add, and marketing. And SNV came in on the element of the farmer and on the marketing. And that was really helpful when we were just starting. And I think possibly the challenge around that is often donors are looking at the total number of farmers that they are trying to influence and to impact and improve their lives. Because we're dealing with a food that maybe it's not about the total number of farmers, it's about building the depth and the quality of the fruit with the support of SNV with a smaller number of farmers. Because as we invest more and more in the farmer, the quality and the volume gets better and better. So instead of telling me to work with 5,000 farmers, I'd rather work with 500 or even 50, to really get the quality and the volume up. Because of that global gap training, it provides a fabulous benefit to the farmer, but also for me, it enables me to really build a strong relationship with a few farmers.
OJ Green works with smallholder farmers and connects them to profitable markets. Now, in the process of that, you realize that farmers are ill-equipped, they're not competitive to play in the market. So as a result of that, they need access to inputs, they need access to knowledge and all that. And working with SNV has been very helpful because they've been able to fill in these parts. Yeah, because there's an aspect of this business that has a social agenda, which is solving a problem in society, and SNV being a development partner is coming through with solutions like this. It's been really hard raising funds for that, but having a partner like SNV has helped and eased this burden a little. So SNV has come in, walked into our space, understood what we are doing, understood the gaps, and are working with us to solve the problem together. And that works perfectly because in solving the problem of market linkage, you can't do it by yourself. You need partners, you need like-minded partners. So I'd call SNV a like-minded partner.
On the other hand, in the wake of technology advancement, there is need for farmers and value chain players to adopt market-driven technologies, be it on storage, irrigation, and even extension services. Mapping information on availability of hardware and software technologies would be a good starting point for increased adoption.
I think we should start with collecting all the apps that are already there, because I think there are many apps, many websites, many places where the information is shared, but it's just not really clear who is where and what can you find where. So if we start with someone who would like to make an overview of all the apps and all the applications, that would be wonderful.
The fact that technologies are out there that are being offered to farmers, but these seem to be offered in a scattered manner, then the emphasis again of knowledge sharing and collaboration came out strongly again. And indeed, if there are avenues for that to be structured and done going forward, I think that would be a benefit for all.
As the sun downed on the SNV Partners Day, it was evident that more can be achieved when stakeholders work together towards filling the gaps in the agriculture value chains for socio-economic impact to be realized as development partners such as the Kingdom of the Netherlands shift gears from aid to trade. For more on the Smart Water for Agriculture project, SWA, and the HortImpact projects, visit our website www.snv.org.